Hello LTU fans and welcome into the LTU studio. Wow, another week has flown by as the LTU athletic seasons are fast approaching. We are here to get you ready for every save and goal. This show, however, touches base with LTU's new SID, new faces, and the various camps that have gone down this summer at Lawrence Tech. So sit back and get ready to enjoy this brand new episode of the LTU Sports Report. Hello everyone and welcome into the LTU Sports Report. Thanks for joining me today. I'm your host, Dylan Morello. This show is presented by Lawrence Technological University and we are sponsored by Henry Ford Sports Medicine. So highlighted in prior episodes, I informed you all about various sports camps going on at Lawrence Tech. Well, they have come and gone, but let's look at some of the highlights from the basketball camp to inspire those who couldn't to come down next year.
The Little Ballers Camp was a blast. There was a bunch of little kids there from the Metro Detroit area and they all got better and they learned something new. And we also had a lot of the LTU coaches' kids were there, so we got to interact with different sports and it was a lot of fun.
We had a great turnout for this Little Ballers Camp for our first time ever, but we're looking to expand that and make LTU known across the Metro Detroit area. We really are wanting ourselves to be leaders and role models for this next generation coming up, and in order to do that, we need more kids to come to our camp and just know what LTU is about, and we want to be those people to them.
Kylie and I both started playing basketball at a younger age, and I remember going to my high school games and saying, like, I want to be just like them when I'm older. And for these kids in the Metro Detroit area, we are that person, because like Southfield A&T is right down the road. So getting more kids in the community, Southfield community, Detroit community, come to our games is super important. We could be those servant leaders, and as being a college athlete, it's more than just playing basketball. It's giving back to the community. It's being good people in the world that we live in today. The elite camp was pretty much ran like one of our practices. We had coaches and ourselves all around the gym, and we were all giving the people feedback and all the recruits, and parents were talking to us, so it's pretty much just like an organized practice, just in an elite camp setting, which is a lot different than other colleges. And we also just ran a lot of the same drills that we run at practice, which all are bettering the kids in the end.
Just the interaction with coaches, and like obviously all the girls there were vying for a spot either with Coach Grace and on our team, or just trying to make themselves better so that they can be a bigger recruit for other schools if LTU is not the fit for them. But it was just really cool to see how competitive they were against each other and how they just wanted to really come out and show their skills to everybody.
That right there is such a great thing to see. LTU being able to touch the community while also helping up-and-coming players is amazing. Speaking of helping LTU succeed, however, we had the pleasure of interviewing someone who wants to do just that, Lawrence Tech's new SID.
Hi, my name is Ryan Alardi, and I'm the new Sports Information Director at Lawrence Tech University. So this is my fourth year in sports information. I think I took a similar route as a lot of my colleagues in the athletic department. I played Division III baseball, did a little bit of coaching, and then after I got my master's, I got into sports information to stay around the athletic atmosphere and the camaraderie that you get when you work in college athletics.
I think what stood out with Ryan was just a good mesh with our staff. It's kind of that laid-back attitude, but knows his sports information side of everything. I think he was very upfront with us on what his strengths were and his weaknesses, and I think he's just going to fit in really well with our staff. I think that was what really stood out with us.
I'm excited to serve the student athletes here. When you really think about college athletics, these kids are coming for an education, and we wouldn't have jobs in this field if not for them coming to play sports at LTU. So first and foremost, just serving the student athletes and the staff and giving them the best game day experience they can have. And just with how I was treated during the interview process, with Scott being first class and LTU being first class, we want to do that to our opponents as well. We want them to come to a game and walk away and say, hey, LTU did it right, they treated us right, they hosted us right. So we want that student athlete experience for both our student athletes and the visitors that come and compete on our fields.
So I see Ryan kind of shaping the department to be So it's not overwhelming for any one person. If we have a GA or two GAs and a student staff, it's a little bit easier to manage, especially on days that we have 4 or 5 home games on that day, and another 4 or 5 teams on the road, right? So they have to get the stats from that and do the articles. I think he's going to shape the department the way he wants to shape it, the way that we want it to shape, so no one gets burned out from it. Sports information is a high burnout rate. I think he's got the right mentality. He's got a good balance outside of work that's going to help him stay here for hopefully a long time.
Switching from staff to student, we have this episode's first Get to Know You segment.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Deere. I'm year 2024 and I play women's soccer. My favorite TV show is Grey's Anatomy because it's always updating and it's very interesting. My favorite vacation spot is probably Anna Maria Island in Florida. My favorite animal is a beluga whale because I think they're pretty cool. My favorite activity out of soccer is probably hanging out with friends or sleeping.
We're going to take a timeout for a commercial break to hear from our sponsors, but stay right where you are because the LTU Sports Report will be right back after this.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, Esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back in the LTU Sports Report. We love talking with and about LTU teams that have been here forever, though there is one team who has just caught traction with a bright future ahead. Here's this week's Esports update.
So this fall, we're looking to compete with Rocket League, Overwatch, Valorant, hopefully some Madden in there. I do have a young man who likes NBA 2K, so we potentially could throw him in some competitions. And then long-term winter would be League of Legends, and probably we'll repeat some of the titles. So I'm still looking for League of Legends players and Overwatch. Now I'm kind of trying to focus on, rank versus growing the team and getting to a bigger size, because last checked, I think our roster is at about 24, which is exciting to grow a team from 0 to 24 without even starting the new season yet. I'm really excited for fall and just to get them competing and give them a space here on campus.
Coming back to the turf now, Blue Devil Stadium has been bustling over the summer. Let's head into the bleachers and see what went down at the LTU football camp.
We're building a brand here that's going to be a national championship caliber program, fellas, period. That's what we're building ourselves to do from a win-loss standpoint. We will be national champions someday, fellas, someday very, very soon. We're having our invite-only camp where we've got about 75 of our top recruits that we've kind of hand-selected amongst our pool. We've invited those young men out tonight. It's a Monday night football theme, so we'll end the camp tonight under the lights. We're going to go through testing. We'll go through typical individual period drills, drill work as well. And then from there, we'll get one-on-ones, some 7-on-7 things of that nature also. We have a great mixture of kids from all over the state of Michigan. We have kids from the west side of the state, up in the northern parts of the state of Michigan. We have young men from Indiana, Ohio also, so more so the Midwest region, but we do have a concentration right here in southeastern Michigan.
The biggest thing was to see the way that we coach as a staff. Getting those guys down, got an idea of their recruiting coach and maybe their position coach as well prior to getting down on campus, but to have just LTU coaches working with our LTU current players here as well, I feel like this was the best opportunity, other than coming down to a practice or a game, to see the way that we function as a staff and as a brotherhood as a football family. So I'd say that was the biggest takeaway.
We got great feedback from the guys that were here. They said it's one of the favorite camps that they've been to all summer, and they've been to over 20. So I think the staff did a great job. I think we were kind of hitting on all cylinders.
I think we did a phenomenal job of putting this together. We started off with a campus tour. The student athletes can get a feel for the campus, see what we have to offer from an academic standpoint, just from a student life standpoint as well. And then we came over here and got after it on the field.
The great thing about these young men about Lawrence Tech is they've shown great interest in who we are as a program. Not just all the glitz and glamour of the recruiting process, but trying to get to know what the school offers, what type of academic criteria we have here, major fields. Of course, the football piece is very, very important for us as well. So they've all shown themselves to be stand-up young men and young people that we think be great fits to be Blue Devils.
Wrapping things up here, let's talk to another student athlete.
My name is Jared Pemberton. I run cross country and I am currently a freshman. My favorite TV show would probably be The Flash. I really just like superhero shows. My favorite musical artist would probably be Jason Aldean, just because he's kind of like a country rock singer. It's kind of like one of those perfect blends. My favorite kind of candy is probably a Kit Kat, and why would be I like dark chocolate, stuff like that. So.
That's all we have for you today on this episode of the LTU Sports Report. We hope you enjoyed meeting some fresh faces at LTU, along with other awesome news. Once again, I'm your host, Dylan Morello, and be sure to follow LTU Athletics on social media for more videos, photos, and articles. You can also listen to our Blue Devils In-Depth podcast on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Pleasure being with you today, and I will see you next week right here on the LTU Sports Report.